So how did you guys come to the decision to go on tour?
That was sort of like a big decision to where after we did Starship, we were trying to figure out what the next show was going to be. We tried a bunch of different things that didn't work, and eventually people were getting bored, and they were saying, "Let's go on tour. Like, let's just take the songs that we have and sing them on a tour." And it's like we had gotten some advice from people that said, you guys should go on tour. And so then it was an idea in people's mind, and for a while we were against it because we said, let's focus more on trying to create new material and new shows here in Chicago, but then eventually we didn't have any ideas, so we said, all right, let's just go on tour.
There was a time when we thought we would be doing the third Harry Potter play, this sort of around the time we did Holden Musical Batman. But then that sort of, like, do a real production of it, but then that sort of fell through. And so our plans ended up sort of being shot, and like Nick said, we didn't have any original content at the moment, and so we thought this is something that we could do.
Probably like a good segue for me to ask a couple questions about a Harry Potter prequel 3D the senior year. So you guys just announced that you're doing that at LeakyCon, which is awesome. And I think that sold out like immediately, pretty much, which is fantastic. So what can you tell me at all about the plot? Since I know in interviews previously you guys have talked about how you didn't want to do anything afterwards because Voldemort was already defeated. So what was there to kind of do? So what avenue did you take to kind of get around that?
Well, it's sort of, after we did the second show, we said this is the last one for sure. We when we were doing the second show, Matt was really against the idea of having anything happen after Voldemort was defeated. But so we came up with but we'd already announced that we were doing a sequel, so it had to, in some way, be a sequel. So we had the bad guys go back in time to Harry's first year. So it's really sort of a prequel / a sequel. But then just after we did the sequel, we were just talking about stuff, and we just came up with an idea. We just sort of were like, the second show sort of has an ending that leads into the first show to where they're just an endless loop forever. And the end of the show, of the second show says, like, there's always a way to come back to Hogwarts. And then everyone started going, oh, well, where's the third show? Where's the third one? Because it's not really an ending. It doesn't really say, now the story's over. It just goes, and the adventure continues. And so I think people want to see the adventure continue. But in this third one, we wanted to make there be an end. We wanted to have this be the last one. So it is about Harry's last year at Hogwarts, his senior year, or 7th year. And it's sort of, I think the description that's out there right now is that he's struggling to find purpose in a world that might not need him anymore. And so I think that's sort of, it's sort of telling, it's a little hint at what the show is going to be about, because our first Harry Potter musical, which takes place in Harry's second year, because he says that he's 12 in the show, is when he defeats Voldemort. So it's sort of his 5 years later.
5 years later, what's going on in Harry's life?
Yeah. So I think it's pretty funny.
You'll see what it's about soon enough.
The thing that I like the thing that I like most about it is it's really concerned with being the end of the story. The only story I can think of that's kind of like that is Toy Story 3, where Toy Story 3 is sort of heart-wrenching to watch because it's this inevitable end that you know is going to happen. You know Andy's going to grow up and leave the toys. So this is like, if everything works out just fine, should be heart-wrenching to watch because you know Harry can't stay at Hogwarts forever. And it's not just about our character, Harry, because he's not really our character. He's a goofball version of J.K. Rowling's character. But it's not only about him coming to terms with the fact that he's going to be done with school and all his adventures are going to be over, but it's kind of also commenting on the Harry Potter franchise and how it's done, you know, and that there's sort of a sadness to that. And it's like, will it just kind of fade away into obscurity? So
that's the dramatic question of the show.
And the answer is we're not sure. But it should be nice and melancholy is what
funny.
And funny.
It's going to be a blast.
It'll be fun. So,
and then some.
Yeah, it's about 2 full lengths.
Yeah. It's another very Potter epic.
It's pretty long, but it's not going to be a full show. It's not going to. I know that there was some sort of statement out there that said we were going to have costumes and like staging and sets, but that's not really the case.
We're going to do the best we can, but I don't think that it'll have all of those production values.
Yeah, so it'll clearly be a reading of the script. Like, people are going to be holding scripts in their hands. And yeah, because, for example, of why it can't be a full show, we get, because everybody knows who's going to be there, right? I'm not about this one. Yeah. We get Darren, like, an hour before he has to read the show. So it's not like he can learn any blocking, learn costume changes, learn lines, learn songs, learn anything. He's just going to get there, go, I'm hungry, eat a sandwich, and then walk on and just read the script for the first time, probably. So Darren will read the script beforehand.
Darren's really excited to be there.
Darren's super excited. Darren has wanted to do the show for a long time. It's just that Darren is so busy with everything that he does. So it's nice that there's this big event like LeakyCon. It probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't around this big event that is in the town that we live in. You know, it's like, that's really because it was so convenient for us, and we have places for people to stay. We live here. We can get stuff ready for everyone to come in on the last 3 days and get ready to just read the script. If it wasn't happening at this big event, then it probably wouldn't have ever happened.
So I just wanted to confirm that the show will be recorded and posted on your channel, because I'm sure that's really what everybody wants to know. That the world will get to see it.
It's just a matter of when.
It's unclear. It's unclear because if we're going to record it, we're going to record it. But if the recording sucks because there's no sort of to me it's weird. It's weird to say that the first 2 shows are going to be full productions, and then there's this weird third thing where the cameramen don't know who to zoom in on for the lines because
no one's seen the show.
No one's ever seen the show. It's not like we're going to be recording it. No one's going to be in costumes. They're just going to be standing there reading out of the book. It's like, if it's going to be really weird to watch and really bad, it's like I would not like for people to see it if it's bad. So
if it's bad, no. But if it's good,
then sure. Either way, there will be some way to get the 3rd show available. I think I can just speak from my opinion. I don't know if I'll I will do my absolute best to make sure the show is available for free for everyone online because I think that's what it should be. And if that means not a recording of this LeakyCon event, it will be available in some other form. Like maybe
or something.
Maybe the script, maybe some sort of audio drama where we just record the lines and piece them together. So you go, okay, here's what it all sounds like. Some way it will be available so people will know how it ends.
But the honest truth is that we haven't thought too much about after LeakyCon because we're just focusing so much on trying to get the script done right now, and because we're still touching things up.